Hello and welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, our card tonight is the Ace of Swords. Let's go ahead and see what do these tea leaves have to say tonight. Oh my goodness, I have to tell you, this just happened right before I started recording. I was getting all my stuff set up. I felt something like kind of on my face, and I just kind of brushed it off, and then I started kind of feeling, I thought, because I've been outside all day, right? I thought, maybe I had a spider in my hair or something. No, it was a tick. A tick fell out of my hair. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. It's all good. It didn't bite me. And yes, and we're okay. I'm okay. But I just absolutely lost it for a second there. I was in full panic mode. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm settling down as I'm doing the reading. All right. So if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at is we have this large whale right here at the bottom. You can see the tail, you can see the body, you can see kind of the mouth coming up here. It looks like a large blue whale or a sperm whale. The really big ones, right? And so, you know, I don't know. I don't have any different meanings for the kinds of whales, but that's what it looks like to me. So I had to point that out. So when we see a whale in the symbols, we know that this is a sign of great psychic connection, okay? If you can think of the ability that whales have to communicate over expansive distances, right? With their pod members, with their family members, with each other. Absolutely astounding. Now, it's not psychic, right? But as far as symbolism goes, this is, I would relate this to a psychic connection. So, we also have this energy of family, of being close and dedicated, loyal, devoted to those you care for. Both chosen family, blood family, and so on, okay? So I'm looking at this, and this is really prominent. It's a prominent formation, and I think it really has to do with somebody particular in your life. I think that as I'm talking about this, you can already kind of imagine who it might be. This is somebody that you've always been able to kind of pick up on their energies, even when you haven't even spoken or seen each other, maybe for, hours, days, weeks, months. It doesn't matter. There's still this ever connection. You are soulmates in a way, right? You have a soul bond. And so when something is feeling different about them, even if you have no context or have any idea that something might be wrong or might be really right, you still get this feeling of like, okay, something's going on. I better call just to see how they're doing, right? Just to check in. And so often, you'll get on the phone with them and say, how you doing? What's going on? and they will say, I was just thinking about you. I was just thinking about calling you, actually. And, you know, this is that kind of, it's, you know, we usually when this happens, we don't think much of it, but I think that you know that there is a deep tie between the two of you. And now this is also vice versa. They pick up on your feelings, your emotions, your, you know, whatever's going on with you. There's a feeling of something's up, right? So I'm looking at this, and I don't think that that this image is coming up to say like, hey, something's going on with them. But I think it's kind of a confirmation that this is a deep, connected, and important relationship in your life. So, you know, I think it's important to acknowledge that and honor it in some way. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going and see what else we see. See what else we see here. Okay, so we have a face here. Maybe like, let's see, eyes right here, nose, mouth, hair kind of done up, almost kind of in a, maybe a hat or some kind of, I don't know, like ornate looking bun of some kind. Somebody who takes time to kind of do themselves up. Now over here, I'm seeing kind of a mother figure. You can see the head, the body, and the legs and stuff down there. So we also have a heart. We have, it looks like a little cauldron. We have a butterfly. We have the V, like the check mark. And a 7. Oh, look at this. We have 777. Hitting a jackpot, right? Okay. Interesting. So I feel like this is, I almost feel like this maybe isn't, maybe it's you and your mom, or maybe you're the mother and this is your daughter. But I don't feel, I'm not getting that impression. I think that it's almost kind of like, maybe like your sister's relationship with your mother. Almost feels like they were really close. They are really close. I almost get this feeling of, a little bit of feeling left out. Yes, I almost kind of get this feeling of, it's just like watching their relationship, okay? And feeling like they're just so similar. There's just something very similar about them. They have like similar tastes. They have similar interests, concerns, priorities, personalities, okay? And I feel like this is something that maybe has bothered you since childhood. Maybe more so when you were young, less so as you've, you know, become an adult and lived your life. But I feel like there's just a sense of wanting to be part of this dynamic, but never really knowing how. Now, I don't necessarily feel like they were ever like mean to you about it, but it does feel like excluded, right? Or feeling like the black sheep in some way. And again, I don't think that they went out of their way to be cruel or anything. I think they just kind of really connected. Now, with the cauldron, we have the cauldron, the butterfly. So I feel like almost you, as you got older, started to find your kind of, you know, magical abilities, your ability to, maybe you are clairvoyant or psychic or, you know, something of this nature, and kind of came to realize that you almost feel like you don't even come from your own family. Like, you're so different. And you live in this realm that is so, it's such a departure from where the rest of your family kind of exists. And I feel like they're kind of materialists a little bit. And I get this feeling just because of the hair is what it, and there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Having your own style and being interested in fashion and makeup and, whatever, having nice things, it's a vibe. It's like a lot of people are that way. I don't think that you are, though. I just don't, and I don't think that you ever kind of understood it, but you respect it. I don't think that you are very like judgmental about it or anything. And so, I feel like, so there's this magic that started to evolve. And then we have the butterfly, which is metamorphosis, self-evolution, growth, and so on. And I think that, as a younger person, maybe this was a thing that really kind of got you through. And even as you've gotten older and an adult, it's still there, and it's even more prominent, profound. And I feel like you've found your community through this, through maybe magic. Maybe you literally practice magic. Maybe you are, I don't know, any kind. There's so many systems of magic. Now the cauldron would make you think maybe this is like Vondu or voodoo or, some kind of fetish, fetish as in magic, right? This is a kind of magic. Or like witchcraft, I guess, like a witch or, I don't know, do Wiccan people use cauldrons? I don't even know, honestly. But I don't know. So I'm looking at it. I'm not sure. I honestly couldn't tell you. I know a little bit about the, how the system was put together, right? But I don't know. I don't practice Wicca, so I'm not sure. But whatever it was, right? This is kind of just a universal symbol for magic. And so, I think that as you've gotten older, you found your place, right? You found your people. That's not to say that you're not still close with your family, or at least on good terms with them. But I feel like there's just this underlying sense of, not fitting in, being the other, being kind of the outcast. For the most part, I think you make it work for you, but I think in those very quiet moments when you are alone in your thoughts, it feels kind of crummy to be like the one that's not picked. It feels kind of crummy to be the one that like is into things that nobody cares about, if you are somebody who is like neurodivergent, which, I am and my husband is, and we have our own, hyperfixations and things. And so when you've lived like that, when you have that experience, right, there's a lot of times where you're just so into stuff, whatever it is at the time, and you can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, doesn't mean that anybody cares to listen. And that's just that's just the reality of things. And so it's understandable. Sometimes you just want somebody to be like, dang, that's really cool, So I don't know. I feel like this is like a kind of old wound in a way. It's kind of within that foundational period of time and experience, and And so that it's, those things get carried with us until we kind of process and integrate them. And even then they still kind of stick around, don't they? But I don't think it's something that's limiting for you. You know, I don't think it's something that I would say is, you know, something that's too difficult for you, or has become something that has limited you. No, but rather I think that this is, you know, it's part of who you are. And so you have found your own people. You have gone out there, been brave, you know, kind of created your own world, your own family, your own social group, right? And so and I feel like that's like kind of the big win here. We absolutely, oh, it's getting dry. We absolutely sometimes just have to take it into our own hands. We have to, you know, be the ones that are going to say, okay, well, if this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to go off and do my own thing, create my own story here. And I think that's exactly what you have done. Okay, so we also have an 82. So 82 is a number. We have that 777, by the way. So, oh, and a 21, 82, 21. Yes, winning something within all of this other sort. Yes, winning something that is coming up. There's good luck in the air. Okay. So put that to use. Find what your, you know, great intention is, and put this good luck into, you know, into practice, into use. Make it work for you. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry. I keep thinking about that tick. My husband, Paul, shout out to Devin Serpentero. He had one last week. So, yeah, it was my turn here. Okay, so we have XO. And we also have a person here who looks like they're kind of being blown around in the wind. So to me, immediately, I think this is like being blown away by somebody. Now, this could be a new person in your life. This could be, you know, like your existing relationship, your partner, whoever it is. I feel like there is just a great passion happening right now. It just absolutely is like, you know, knocking you off your feet. I feel like there's such an attraction there. There seems to be a sense of, you know, wanting to be around each other all the time, excited to see each other, you know, thinking about this person constantly. And I feel like this is like something that you look forward to, getting into these modes of kind of, you know, a beloved love, a all-encompassing kind of love, all-consuming kind of love. This is kind of like what feels like home, right? To be this passionate about something or somebody. Now we also have JT right here, JT, and we have a Z as well. But JT seems important, like it's maybe initials. Okay. Oh, okay. So as I pull this out, it looks like we have a jester. You can see the eyes, the mouth, and then the hat, right? The kind of with the little bells and stuff. And the jester is like the court fool and entertainment for the court, the king, the queen, and all of their court people. Similar to the Fool, but not exactly. And so I feel like maybe you do some kind of work where it feels like you are maybe in entertainment, but maybe you're doing something where you have to kind of, you know, connect with people, kind of finesse a kind of friendship, kind of a being entertaining and approachable and you know, kind of charming and all of that. And I think you do it really well. Now, I'm not calling you like a clown or a jester or anything like that, but I think that kind of performing comes naturally to you. I think you probably, when you were a kid, were like putting on plays for the family, doing little shows, you know, singing, dancing, and center of attention. And that felt, you know, normal for you. And I still think to some degree you don't mind having the spotlight. Now, I don't think that you seek it out as much, but I do think that you like the recognition of being somebody who is entertaining, or kind of, you know, you really grasp people's attention, and they, you know, they just really have such a positive experience with you. So, yeah, I see that, and I think that is a really prominent archetype here. Now, we have a goddess over here, and it looks like she's holding, no, let me see. It looks like she's holding maybe a harp right here. Maybe a bow. I kind of thought it was Diana, and I still think it might be. We also have a person here with a dog. So that to me kind of says, yeah, maybe this is Diana. And we know Diana is the huntress. She is a middle goddess. She, you can imagine like running through the woods after a deer or her prey or whatever. Graceful, quick, agile, all of that. And I feel like you definitely have this energy. You're really good at the things you focus on, the things that you set your mind to. You're really good at excelling in particular things, activities, or your work or whatever. And so I look at this and I feel like there is a sense of, you know, kind of bringing yourself back into this place of attention to whatever it is that is fulfilling to you. You know, if that's your career, if that is some kind of extracurricular thing that you do, you know, like some kind of hobby, interest, whatever. And I think that when you get into that place where you feel very confident within this activity, it kind of flows out into other parts of your life. And I think that this makes you feel very like, and I'm looking at the Ace of Swords, and I feel like it's like being equipped with the ultimate tool, right? And that's your ability. And I feel like you could, you know, conquer anything when you're in this mode. So I think it's important that you spend some time with the things that give you confidence, that you feel, you know, are important for your self-development and for your enjoyment, something that does bring that confidence to you. Now, let's see. We have a J, J, and an L. What does that mean? I feel like it's kind of this like incomplete square, like trying to get things together. Like off the square. And I see a person kind of on their knees. You know, I feel like this isn't you. I feel like this is actually somebody in your life. And I almost wonder if this is like that sister we were talking about at the beginning. I wonder if they have an L name or maybe a J name, but maybe an L name. And I feel like now being squared away, being on the square, right? This is the idea that the square is perfected. in Masonry, there is a thing called, perfect ashlar or an imperfect ashlar. And this is a piece of stone that is sculpted, carved into a perfect square. Okay. And so to be on the square is the mode of perfection, right? You are in a state of mastery. And when you're off the square, it's like, yeah, something's going on. You're like, something needs to be kind of changed here, worked on, refined. You need to find where you're having some troubles. Now, I think it is with the sister or somebody maybe like that in your life, and where they have always kind of been the golden child, they are not doing well now. And I feel like, it's kind of destabilizing in a way to see somebody that you just kind of count on as being good, all the time. Like they always know what they're doing and they do it well, and you don't really have to worry about them. But here they seem to be having some troubles. Okay, so I do think that there's kind of a sense of checking in with them. And I feel like maybe this is why these other feelings had come up about previous times where you maybe felt a little bit jealous or felt a little bit left out. Kind of recalling how envious you maybe were in those moments. And trying to let that stuff go completely now as an adult. And I think that, just kind of showing up for this person and seeing how you can help or be kind of a support. I think that is like the ultimate gift here. And I think you're fully, capable of doing that. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to go over here to the Wild Offering Oracle. Okay, I love these cards so much. They're beautiful and they have wonderful little sayings on them, little lessons. And so I'm going to flip through and stop where it feels right. And I will just turn this over. It says, make it God's. Release the idea of my. As soon as you start to say the money, the relationship, the job, freedom arrives. Yes, as soon as you start to say, okay. As soon as you start to say, yeah, freedom arrives when there is no grasping. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. I already read this one, so I should have got it. Yes. So instead of saying my, you're saying the, right? Instead of my money, it's the money. When there is no grasping, the right actions get shown. Free me from the prison of my, dear Lord. Yes, I like this. I definitely do. Getting stuck on like, having to control and be of the ownership of, it can be such a distraction, and it's like opening a whole can of worms that gets pretty uncomfortable pretty quickly and stressful. So where we can kind of limit that, yes, that's a wonderful thing. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. So now I'm going to go check my hair again. My whole body and my hair again. I am freaking out in my heart, in my mind, and I'm sorry, with the tick thing. So yeah, I think it's the first time I've ever found one on me, but we live in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, I'm really fortunate, and I know, you know, whatever. I'm not going to go down. I'm trying to positive self-talk myself right now. Everything's okay. Just got to take better precautions. And so anyways, if you have any advice about ticks, if you live somewhere where there are a lot of ticks, let me know. I will take all advice. Other than that, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days. Good night, good night, good night.